ডায়াবেটিস ৰোগৰ পৰিপ্ৰেক্ষিতত হ'ব পৰা চকুৰ সমস্যাৰ সজাগতাৰ বাবে নেটৱৰ্ক 18 দেশজুৰি আৰম্ভ কৰিবলৈ লৈছে নেত্ৰ সুৰক্ষা অভিযান। এই অভিযানৰ দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায়ৰ লক্ষ্য উদ্দেশ্য হ'ল দেশৰ সুৰক্ষাৰ সৈতে জড়িত সুৰক্ষা কৰ্মীৰ পৰিয়ালৰ তথা আত্মীয়ৰ মাজত ডায়াবেটিছৰ বাবে চকুত পৰিব পৰা প্ৰভাৱ সন্দৰ্ভত সজাগতা সৃষ্টি কৰা। গুজৰাটৰ কচ্ছৰ ধৰ্মশালা যুদ্ধ স্মাৰকৰ পৰা এই অভিযান শুভাৰম্ভণি কৰা হ'ব, য'ত উপস্থিত থাকিব গুজৰাট বিধানসভাৰ অধ্যক্ষ ডাক্তৰ নিমাবেন আচাৰ্য। বিগত বৰ্ষত নেটৱৰ্ক 18 নেত্ৰ সুৰক্ষা অভিযানৰ প্ৰথম পৰ্যায় আৰম্ভ কৰিছিল, যাৰ জৰিয়তে ডায়েবেটিছ ৰেটিনোপেথিৰ বিষয়ত দেশজুৰি সজাগতা অভিযান চলোৱা হৈছে। আৰু এইবেলি দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায়ৰ অভিযানত 30,000ৰো অধিক লোকৰ চকু পৰীক্ষা কৰা হ'ব।
At none other place than the BSF War Memorial in the Run of Kutch. It's a beautiful location, of course, Run of Kutch being world famous, but this memorial which is right behind me is an absolutely poignant tribute to the martyrs of the country, the martyrs of the 1971 war. But remember, the Run of Kutch is also extremely significant when it comes to India's borders, because this place is where the genesis of India's border security force took place, way back in 1965. In the run-up to the 1965 war with Pakistan, it is here in Run of Kutch that one of Pakistan's misadventures were rebutted by the Indian forces. And that's when India felt that it needed a specialized defense force, security force for the borders, and thus was birthed the Border Security Force. So I want to begin first up by paying our homage to India's martyrs and the Jawans who protect India's borders, which is the Jawans of the Border Security Force. In fact, many of them are joining us in our audience today. I want a big round of applause for the Jawans who are here, and I'll tell you why they're here, and I'll tell you why it is special that we are interacting with our Jawans today as we kickstart our Netra Suraksha campaign. But first up, how about a cheer for the Indian security forces, for the BSF. So I'm going to say Jai Hind and everybody's going to say Jai Hind with me, right? All the Jawans and all the audiences. Jai Hind! Jai Hind! Jai Hind! Jai Hind! All right, with that energy bump, I want to introduce our aim here as far as this campaign is concerned. Now remember, just as the Border Security Force mans our borders and protects us with their watchful eyes, we want to protect the vision of not just our Jawans but also their families. And therefore, this time around, we're taking the message of diabetes retinopathy to the defense forces and their families, and that's why we are here at the BSF War Memorial in the Run of Kutch. Remember, India is home to as many as 70 million diabetic patients, and every one of them is at risk for diabetes retinopathy, which eventually impacts your vision and leads to blindness. We want to prevent that. What are the challenges in that, and what you need to do? What does the medical community need to do? All of that will be discussed in just a bit from now. But first up, I want to introduce our esteemed guests. I want to begin with our chief guest today, Shrimati Dr. Nimaben Acharya, Honorable Speaker of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly, the first woman Speaker of the Gujarat Legislative Assembly, and of course, a multiple-time MLA. Doctor, thanks a lot for being with us. You're a doctor yourself, so there couldn't have been a better chief guest for our initiative. I also want to welcome Mr. Sanjay Srivastav, who's the DIG BSF of the Kutch sector. A big round of applause for our guests. Thank you so much, sir, for hosting us here. And once again, my congratulations to you, my salute to you and your forces for the job that they're doing. I also want to welcome Ms. Vaishali Iyer, Country Head Communications, Patient Engagement and CSR at Novartis India. Vaishali, thanks a lot for being with us. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. And last but not the least, on the far side from me, Dr. Manisha Agarwal, Head of Vitro Retina and Clinical Research Services at Dr. Shroff's Charity Eye Hospital, New Delhi, and Joint Secretary of the VRSI, which is the Vitro Retina Research Society of India. She is a treasure trove of all the knowledge that you need as far as what is needed to prevent diabetes retinopathy is concerned. But first up, of course, we have a few surprises in store for you. So first up, we're going to go across to our guest and discuss a few things as far as diabetic retinopathy is concerned. I want to kickstart with you. Ma'am, you are from the medical profession. What do you make of this initiative? Because the awareness that is often needed takes time. Do you believe that an initiative like this can do the job when it comes to the awareness first and foremost?
First of all, I welcome Netra Suraksha campaign whole team,
Thank you.
including Manpreet and Vaishali and Manisha and Brijesh ji, Mishra ji, the leader of media leader.
Yes.
I always say Brijesh ji is media leader. So I heartily welcomes you at the border, This is a border where Pakistan is nearby.
Yes.
And we are sitting now in memorial. 1965, as you say,
Yes.
the war was Pakistan and India. And at that time that we have got this war memorial. So, Netra Suraksha is very, very important. And when new Network 18 has started this campaign from the border, so I really congratulate you. And I wish best wishes, my heartiest best wishes, that it started from BSF camp, because eyes are very important. So Netra Suraksha is very important for BSF and all. And when you say that it is a diabetic retinopathy, diabetes is such a disease. It is a hidden enemy. You never know that you are diabetic. But when you get regular checkup, then and then only you diagnose the diabetes. And because of diabetes, so many adverse effects on the body, especially kidney and heart and everything. But the effect on the eyes, diabetic retinopathy leads to blindness. And the eyes are very important for the world which we see. And for BSF it is very, very important. We always say keep eye on everywhere. So you are keeping eye on the border. So this Netra Suraksha camp, we are starting from this border area, Dharmashala. So I really congratulate you all people, and I wish my heartiest best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to have your blessings in kick-starting the second edition, and Vaishali is itching to talk more about it. But I want to go across to Mr. Sanjay Srivastava first. So we've mentioned how for the defense forces, fitness is obviously of utmost importance, but vision, like anybody else, is of supreme importance, especially for a force like yourself, isn't it? Your eyes, your watchful eyes are everything. So what do you make of the significance of this message, especially for the armed forces, for your Jawans and their families? Because under this campaign, this time around, we want to protect not just the vision of the Jawans, who may need some preventive help, but their families as well. So your take.
This is excellent idea and very welcome step. And really, as ma'am has told, we welcome you at this place. Particularly, I want to emphasize that particularly serving at this place, which are very adverse for the survival, and we work on the scorching sunlight and very tough terrain. Eyes are frequently affected, and as ma'am has told us that diabetes leads to blindness, and we are not aware of, I am suffering from the diabetes only when we are getting frequent test, and then only we are aware that we are now prone to diabetes and we have succumbed to diabetic patient. So
আৰু কে আছিল নেত্ৰ সুৰক্ষা